That worked. Good morning, children of God.
Morning.
Good to have each and every one of you here with us. The sun just came out, which explains why most people aren't here today. Just talking a minute ago about, and this is anybody who teaches adults as opposed to, never mind. When the sun comes out, the class goes out to play. At least that just seems to be how it is. So we just smile and know that everybody's exactly where they need to be and doing this. Here's something to think about. Life doesn't belong to us. Life does not belong to us. Life expresses through us. We're going to be talking some more about that today. And the way we do that is we begin by centering and acknowledging the presence of our loving Father, Mother God, as we come together in this day of celebration. We breathe. Oh, loving Father, Mother God, thank you for your presence moving in and through us this day, in this moment. This day we choose to be open, receptive, responsive, and obedient to your instruction and to your guidance. This day, in this moment, we are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, today's daily word is world peace. And this morning, Sharon will read our daily word for us.
World peace. I think everybody needs filters today.
Yeah, all the filters need to be turned on.
I express divine love and understanding to all. When I tune in to news of terrorism, racism, climate change, and more, I may wonder if there will ever be peace in our world, yet I am also familiar with the deep peace found in the presence of Spirit. Peace begins with each one of us, and I have the power to access it at any time. Through divine peace, I learn to express divine love and understanding to all. I take a moment now to turn off the news and breathe into the peaceful presence within. Here I find a sense of hope for the world. Engaging the power of imagination, I envision humanity acting with respect for all life. I glimpse the realized potential of a world at peace. I know we can and will achieve peace one breath at a time. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, so I send you." John chapter 20, verse 21.
Question: why do we close our eyes during prayer? And the answer most often given is to close out distraction, right? Okay, now try this one on. Whose world do I live in? God's world. Why do I want to shut out God's world? So what I need to do is just change distraction to just is. It's not a distraction, it's just part of God's world. And I am in it. Now, the more often that I really, with power and authority, affirm who I am, the more that will begin to show up in my world. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. As we move into a time of prayer and meditation, let's join with Steve. I believe in you. I believe. Lord, I trust. I have faith. Gently now and easily, we take those words of the truth of us into our secret place, as Jesus called it, into our inner closet. It is that place within you where there is no question, there is no doubt. I believe. It is that place within you where I listen. For in my prayers, I'm learning to ask this day for those who aren't with us, healing, guidance, order, peace. And in the silence I listen, and answers come. Sometimes in a word, love, peace. Sometimes in the vibration of the music, which stirs my soul. Regardless of how these gifts come to you this day, choose to say yes. This day, I reach out. I accept these gifts, these divine ideas. I embrace them, even if I don't know what they mean just yet. I know they come to me this day wrapped in good, and I'm grateful. And as I immerse myself in them, each and every cell of my being responds. And as gratitude swells up, I remember I am a channel through which good flows into my world. This day, in this moment, I open that channel wide. From me, through me, good flows. First into this room. Where these thoughts join with other thought of like mind and grow in strength and in power and touch each and every one of God's children with healing, with blessing. From me, through me, good flows. From this place into our spiritual community, wherever that might be this day. Touching, healing, blessing. Into our city. Across our state, across our country. Around our world. From me, through me, good flows. Here in the stillness and in the silence, I am reminded in spirit and in truth. We are never separate one from the other. Somewhere, somewhen, someone is saying thank you for the gifts that have come this day through you, from you, are gratefully received. And that gratitude swells up and returns to you. The circle of life, whole and complete. Right now, I breathe and I rest for one holy moment. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, holding to this experience we have just shared, gently and easily, I bring my attention back to this room, to this now. And from my heart, I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us, when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." There's something about technology that is interesting to me. I don't know why it happens, but in this particular instance, apparently, as it goes from slide to slide, the computer says, nah, I don't like that one, and quit sending it out there, because I get another slide, it'll come back. I don't know why it does that. I've never been able to figure it out. I'm not going to try. I'm just thankful that we have it when we have it, and remind myself that I just breathe, trust, and know that in this moment, right here, right now, God is working through me and through you, and that which I need in this moment to say, do, and be will be said, and that's the way it is. And I go, thank you. And then I do something that for Rob is very difficult to do. Then I surrender. Because I could imprint me real easy. I've got lots and lots of practice at that. And so do you. But I know that when I will just allow Spirit to work through me, that I'm going to be dandy. And so are you. And we can solve whatever challenges seem to show up in our life. We were talking earlier about some of our church family. We have challenges right here, right now. We have some who are experiencing disease, disorder. We have some members of our family who are moving through transition. And it's not easy, because we live in a world where we think that what I see is my world, and it's part of my world, but it's only part of it. Even when we know God is all, both visible and invisible, and we know, because Jesus has taught us this, life is eternal, when a transition is made, the first thing it seems that the human experience does is grieve for loss. And we have a long list of what that loss entails, not the least of which is I can't hug you around your neck, right? And we all go through that. The saving grace for me is that I hold to the knowing, capital K-N-O-W, knowing that life is eternal. So even though I cannot see with my eyes the attributes expressed by my loved one are right there for me to see in my world. But I need to open my eyes. Okay? And that's what today is really all about. I am, I will. See, I am is the spiritual of you. That's your truth. That's your core. The I will of you is the formation of the I am. It is the creation of your world. And it's when I misunderstand my I will that I get cast out of the garden. That's when I munch on the tree from the knowledge of good and evil. Right? Because I think I know best. However, the I am of me, the spiritual I am, stays right with me nonetheless. There is nowhere you can go, nowhere I can go that God is not. There is nowhere you can go or I can go that good is not. But I need to open my eyes to it. And that's the challenge, because we have the tendency to look from out there in here earlier. I've reminded you of this before, and I'm going to remind you again. You need to come every now and again early, because sometimes we have some great discussions, and it fits so tight in with the message. You see, again, these lesson titles were written a couple of months ago. I knew kind of where I wanted to go. I know what stories I want to tell, kind of. but I also know who's in charge. And when I just get out of the way of that, then everything I need shows up. Each piece of the puzzle shows up, and I just get to relate it to you. And one of the things that came up is particularly this notion that when I can transfer my thinking, transcend it sometimes, from out here as being my truth to just being my experience. It's my I will. I put my imprint on it. I remember when I was teaching law enforcement, and we're talking about how to talk to people and how to draw information out. One of the things we taught is it was really important for you to understand that everyone is going to come from their perspective. No matter what occurs in our world, there are three sides. Your side, my side, and that which actually happened. And part of our job was to discern that middle piece. Okay? So we had to figure out sometimes where people are. So when you say, if I say I'm wearing blue pants, you'd be wrong. I think. Be still, almost thought I had my black slacks on. But if I say the word blue, what comes to mind? Blue is the sky, blue jeans, turquoise blue. So you have a list, and your subconscious, when you say the word blue, throws up sometimes, but throws everything that's blue that you have ever experienced. And then you have to decide which blue you're going to use in this context. Now, that doesn't make any of the other blues wrong. It just means that's part of your experience, right? So, when stuff starts to show up, then I get to decide which one I'm going to use. Well, when I brought up this blue, my experience was this. The question then is, do I want to experience that again? And if the answer is no, that's when, we were talking earlier, what's the first thing we do? And it's the thing that we forget the most often. The first thing I do is breathe and center. And I go back to the I am. I ask for Spirit to guide, for God to guide me, show me the way, open my eyes. Right? Once I do that, then I get to imprint my thoughts, my feelings, my words, and my actions, and then I'll receive a demonstration of one kind or another. But I'm the one that has to do the work. I read something today, actually it wasn't today, it was a couple of days ago, that kind of intrigued me because I understood where it was coming from. The author of a particular book I'm working on said that he felt sorry for people who get hung up in the law of attraction because affirmations bring nothing. And he's right, by the way. Affirmations don't bring anything because that's only one step in the process. The affirmation brings me in line with what I want. Then I can begin to give the power of the affirmation, my word, and then the action. Without the action, nothing comes into experience. Nothing. I have to take action. Based on what? My thoughts, my feelings, my words. Then I take action, and then it shows up. But he was correct in his interpretation. Many people stop with the affirmation. If I just sit here long enough and pray rightly, Om, the world will be a wonderful place. And it will be. However, when I take action to bring it about and experience it, then it becomes real. Then I take that divine idea, the I am of me, breathing life into the I will that brings about my expression. Right? And that's what Jesus taught us. But we've forgotten. He wasn't the first, nor will he be the last, that said, these are the lessons that you need. Okay? We have such wonderful teachers around us when we'll just take a moment to go like this and open up. The challenge comes in, it was another one of the discussions we had this morning, the challenge comes in that when I have decided what is right and hold to it, then I am right and you are. Ah, anybody who even thought the word wrong, he said, raising his hand, went into an I will moment. Okay. But I create conflict, don't I? As opposed to this, throughout his ministry, the Pharisees, those who were locked into the religious law of the day, asked this question, one we talked about on Wednesday. Who gives you the authority to say these things, to do these things, to be these things? Who gives you that authority? Did Jesus give them a long lecture about who gave him the authority? No. He said, I can't tell you. Actually, he didn't say I can't tell you. He says, I won't tell you. Right? Because the authority comes from where? From God. And if you don't understand that it's not an outside-in game, then you're not ready to hear that. Okay? Your authority to live as you see fit, to express your truth comes from where? Right here. It's your authority. Now, the question is, how are you responding or reacting to that authority within you? And then you get a Dr. Phil-ism. How's that working for you? Okay? See, for me, that's the test. Is I look at my world and I say, what in my world feels out of sorts? Now, oh, by the way, when you feel something in your world as out of sorts, it's going to show up in your body temple. Trust me, I've been there. Okay? So if something's out of order for me, my tummy talks to me. Right? Okay. If it's out of order, then what can I do about it? Well, where do I need to go? See, there's a process with everything. What did I just said? I breathe, and I go, okay. I've been given a gift called my imagination. I've been given a gift called vision. Okay, what do I want in my world? I know you've heard me use this one before. Mark Twain said it regularly, I believe. I can show anybody in the world how to get anything they want. I can't get anybody to tell me what they want. Well, our vision is cloudy, right? We do it here. Every week we say, let there be peace on earth. And what happens? Where is it? Well, where are you? Are you at peace? Did you carry that with you? Or as soon as the circle was broken up, you thought, oh, I have to get out in that busy traffic. I go right into my world of chaos, right? Okay, it's not a big deal. I just quit beating up on myself about it. But I recognize that, okay, there's a thought that I can begin to make a shift. I can then connect with that I am of me, the spiritual truth of me, and breathe life into me in a new way on a regular basis and say, okay, here's my vision. This day I see good in all things. I've shared with you about our little plant that's growing up in the sidewalk out front. And for a few weeks it was pretty sad out there. It still looks a little sad. But as I came in this morning, here's this itty bitty little plant growing up out of cement, right? But it's starting to grow green. And as long as nobody takes the hoe to it, pulls it out of the crack in the cement, the little green will turn into a little beautiful purple flower. And once again, the season of life observed in that plant will come fruition because we started with a beautiful little plant in the concrete. We went through a lot of challenges, not the least of which is nobody's picked it yet, which is a possibility. But regardless, full circle, Life is going to show up in my world. Beauty is going to show up in my world. Love is going to show up in my world when I take the time to do this. I took a picture when I was walking the dog one day of a flower. And the first comment I got on it was, "What a wonderful looking weed." Okay. No, it's not. It's a wild flower. Yeah, that's how you spell weed. Right? It's just perception, right? We both look at something. I look at it from my side. You look at it from yours. And we make a judgment about what it means. It's a weed. Beautiful flower. We're both right. We're both right. See, there's no wrong here. We need to get past the idea that it's wrong. That's when the I am of us, the God of us, breathes life into the I will to bring about a picture, an expression of oneness. When I was growing up, one of the thoughts that was given on a regular basis is that this world of ours is a school and that we come here to learn. And some of you may have thought that same thing and been taught that. And it's not necessarily wrong. However, there's a challenge that I ran into for me. If I am one with the one, and the one is perfect, then I am perfect, yes? So when I arrived here, how did I arrive? Perfect. What's there left to learn? So I need to repurpose my statements and say, okay, if I already know it, then what is it that I'm here to do? Well, I'm here to express the one that can only be done in a physical way. That's my purpose. To take the spirit of the I am, of the truth of me, of God of me, and learn to express it in form, taking the I will to express the oneness, which in our Bible is the garden. It's the story of the garden, where I am in communion with Spirit, and there is no shame. That all my needs are taken care of, day by day. And it's only when the I will of me decides I know better, let's have some apple, right? That I then put me out of that place. That place exists yet today in me. So I'm learning how to express that in a material way that just hasn't been done since the story. And the story, by the way, when you read, has 2 creation stories. And somebody asked me one day, why do we have 2 creation stories? Well, we've been around a long time. And there were the priests and the teachers of Abraham. And there were the priests and the teachers of Moses. And both of them had oral traditions. And one of the oral traditions was, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and named them good. And then, when we get to the man part, one story says God created Adam, and from Adam, Eve. The other story says He created them. Okay? Both male and female, He created them. Both stories were right from the perspective of those who taught them. It's created some challenges over time, I'll be the first to admit. But the story continues, and they live in the garden, and they commune with God, and things are great and wonderful, and it's beautiful. It's our definition of heaven, yeah? And then the I will, the yeah, but that seems to be part of our human experience, says, I'm going to do this. And that seems to separate me from my truth. I say seems to on purpose because it's always there. But now my thinking is, this is Rob, and you can think what you want. My thinking is that that whole story is in the Spirit. And that part of my function and purpose is to bring the I will into alignment with that and create that oneness in my world. To experience it, to express it. And teachers come along. I'm convinced in my heart of hearts that if I live long enough this time, in this particular body expression, that another teacher will come along, as did Jesus. See, Jesus arrived for us at the right and perfect time for us. And he came, as he said, not to change the law, but to add to it. And as we learn and as we grow, we will find other things that we will need to add to it, to express and experience our truth, to unite the I am and the I will in expression in a material sense. For me, the base of all of that is the word love. And even as I say that word, there's a lot of different interpretations as to what that means. Okay? It doesn't matter what your interpretation is. It starts like this. One of our commandments is to love one another even as I have loved you. So I need to start loving here. So let's take a picture right now, right where you are, right here, right now, warts and all. And to that body temple, to that expression of the one, I love you. Together, I love you. To that one, to that expression of the one, I bless you. Together, I bless you. To that one, the expression of the truth that you're expressing, I appreciate you. Together, I appreciate you. To bring it all together, the I am and the I will, as expressed by Yeshua, by Jesus. In this moment, I behold the Christ. Together, I behold the Christ. That's beautiful.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.